Hello, everyone. Welcome to Backlot Banter, a very special Oscars edition. I'm your host, Tanner Dexter. I'm joined, as always, by our illustrious and well-dressed folks. Well, most of them well-dressed. Abram, Timo, and Tucker. How you doing today, boys? You're looking shiny in your newly spritzed up duds.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm wearing my shiniest digs for the Oscars. It's Oscar season. I've got my Academy Awards book on the table, and I'm ready to do some predicting.
I've got my
I've, so,
suit
I've,
jacket on. I've got my predictions written down. I'm ready to talk about it. I've done some research even.
yeah.
Having a good day.
I was in the gym 5 minutes ago.
Well, there you have it,
And
folks.
we are all in our happy places.
We are in various states of dress and interest in the Oscars, and we're about to deliver to you the most accurate Oscar predictions on the internet. Okay, those other troglodytes didn't have the mental capacity, okay, to watch and rank each and every one of the Best Picture nominees this year. We're
That's
going to
true.
do every single category. There's timestamps in the description. And while you're down there, make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and click that link to join our Discord server where you can talk about all things Oscars and otherwise with us.
Yeah, and
Boys,
check out our Letterboxd because that's where we've got these lists hanging out. If you haven't been watching the Quest for the Bestest, we could just do a quick rundown of where things all ended up in the ranking. How about it? So, Sound of Metal was number 1, followed by Judas and the Black Messiah, then Nomadland, The Father at number 4, Trial of the Chicago 7 was at place number 5, Promising Young Woman was at number 6, Minari was at 7, and Mank was at number 8. But you should watch the videos where we talk about them because it explains a lot about why they are where they are. So, our pick was that, for Best Picture, but, there's a lot more categories than just that.
That's right. And you'll have to wait till the end for us to restate that. Or maybe, we don't know. I don't know what these other boys picked for their Best Picture prediction. But if you want to jump around to certain awards, there's timestamps in the description and on the little play bar. That's a fancy little thing that YouTube can do.
Yeah, really.
But I think we're ready to start out, boys. And we're going to start with where the Oscars usually starts. Supporting actress. Okay. So we're going to go, or how do we want to go around this? So, Timo, you want to start with you? You're in the top right.
Okay. Pretty simple for me. I looked through the list of actress in a supporting role, and the one that really stood out to me is Ye Jung-yoon from Minari. I think the grandma I think she's really great in that movie, and I think she's going to take it home. I think she beats out Amanda Seyfried and Olivia Colman, and I think Borat, while it was nominated for a lot, is not going to take home any awards tonight.
Yeah,
unfortunately. Abram?
I'm gonna follow Timo on that one. Because I think that the grandma was such an endearing performance in a slate of pretty self-serious, understandably so, but pretty self-serious roles. I think she was a great counterpoint and just a wonderful performance.
I'm also going to go Ye Jung-yoon. I think that she's given other awards category or awards programs and shows. She's won a few awards in those as well. She gives great speeches, so I think she's taking that Oscar home.
and this is going to be a moot point, but I'm also going Ye Jung-yoon. I think that everything else on there is honestly not that strong. I was not impressed by Amanda Seyfried's performance. I think Olivia Colman was actually pretty good. I liked her performance, but Glenn Close, Hillbilly Elegy, that was not a especially
Not even
standout performance. When I think about Borat 2, I honestly do not even think about his daughter character.
Maria Bakalova did win the Golden Globe for supporting actress for this,
True.
so I think that she's in second. But I still think Ye Jung-yoon is going to take it home.
Sure. Okay. Now we're gonna move on to supporting actor, of course, and let's just go the same route. Timo, what are you thinking? What are you thinking?
Well, this is a hard one because we've got Judas in two nominees from Judas and the Black Messiah, so you have to decide which one of them is the more supporting role, or I don't really know. But I am going to go with Judas for this one, and I'm going to pick Daniel Kaluuya. I think that as a supporting actor, I think he's the supporting actor of the film because it's more about Lakeith Stanfield as like a plot standpoint, but Daniel Kaluuya is just great. I mean, he's just great in this movie. And I think it really just comes down to Oscar politics between the two of them if that happens. Or I could be totally wrong, and because there's two Judas and the Black Messiahs on there, neither of them win. Who knows?
Yeah.
Abram?
Daniel Kaluuya is the right choice, so I
Yes.
put that down.
Yes.
I didn't really think about it in terms of who is the supporting actor in Judas. I looked at the strength of both performances, and I think that Lakeith Stanfield is great, but I don't think he hits both the highs and the lows that Kaluuya does in his performance. I can't talk, but don't worry about it. He deserves the Oscar, even if I can't
Yeah.
pronounce his name.
We're going to say, we're all going to be singing the resounding praises of Oscar winner Daniel Kaluuya, because I'm also going Daniel Kaluuya for this category. I think, I'm going to look back at other awards programs. He's been running away with those awards, and he's a clear choice.
Yeah, and for me, I mean, we're just going through it again, and
Yeah.
I gotta be the last on these every single time, and sound like I'm just copying. But I have my Vanity Fair predictions right here,
Mhm.
and Daniel Kaluuya, I think, was the strongest performance, and I think for me, when I'm considering Judas and the Black Messiah, I do think that it's framed more around Keith Stanfield's role in his story. But even so, Daniel Kaluuya's performance, I think, steals the energy of the movie, and I think that's why it ended up going to him.
Yes,
All right.
I agree.
Well, Tucker, since you complained, we're going to go with you on this next one. Not an incredibly interesting category, because we're going to go with Best Actor next.
I mean, yeah, it wouldn't be a very interesting category if there wasn't such a clear leading man in all of the
Mhm.
discourse around this, which is why, of course, I have predicted Chadwick Boseman from Ma Rainey's
Yeah.
Black Bottom. Also, just watched it a couple days ago. I think his performance is absolutely fantastic and deserving of a win in that. So it's not really entirely politicking on the actor and in his career and his life and all of that, but also a very strong performance, and that's my prediction.
Did anyone not say Chadwick Boseman?
No.
No,
Okay.
I think he's
okay.
a total shoe-in.
Yeah.
I think he was a shoe-in even if he was alive. I think he was really, really good in Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. The rest of the film's okay, but I think that his performance is just so standout, which is a bit of a shame because, like, Riz Ahmed, Stephen Yeun, Anthony Hopkins, these are all great performances
It's
here.
a great category. Yeah.
So,
I mean, Anthony Hopkins gives basically a career-topping performance in The Father. But yes, Chadwick Boseman, even if he were alive, I wouldn't be disappointed with him winning. So, and I think it's a perfectly logical end to his unfortunately short acting career. Okay, up next, actress. Now, this is a very, very, very interesting category. One of the two most interesting and hardest to pick this season. So I'm gonna open up with my gut feeling. Lots of people are saying this. Okay, Carey Mulligan in Promising Young Woman. That's who I think is going away with this. It's a tough pick between her and Viola Davis, but I got to go with my gut on this. The Oscars loves powerhouse performances, and while they both deliver good ones, I think Promising Young Woman has a lot of momentum behind it, not in the same way that Ma Rainey's Black Bottom does. Abram, go ahead. What are you thinking?
Now, because the Oscars are just garbage politics on behalf of Hollywood, it's going to go to Carey Mulligan because Promising Young Woman does not have a shot in hell of taking Best Picture, but it's got to pick up some things. And I think that Carey Mulligan, in all fairness, is really charismatic and for me lifts up an otherwise pretty conflicted film. I think her performance is really great, so I think she deserves to win. Also, the context of it being from Promising Young Woman, I think, lends it a lot of strength as well.
Yeah, it has woman in the title, so obviously it's going to win best lead actress.
we're gonna come around. We're gonna come around to that joke once we get there. You'll see.
We will. Tucker, I have a feeling what you're going with this.
Yeah, no, I'm going for Carey Mulligan, but I honestly, and I was telling you this, we were working on our predictions a little bit together. My prediction for this is not only because I think she's my favorite performance of the year. I think she's an incredible performance from one of the best aspects of that film, but because I think the vote is going to be more split between Viola Davis and Frances McDormand in both of their, sort of career Oscars and good performances from both of them. But I think that vote will split and end up going to Carey Mulligan, and will make me very happy in the end.
Sure. Timo?
I'm actually gonna be contrarian. I'm going with Frances McDormand
Yes,
for
finally!
this one.
Wow.
I think she's really good, and I think her subtlety and her listening face. The listening face is what makes Nomadland work so well with the the nonfiction elements like we talked about. So I think she's got the shot for me.
Yeah. Well,
we'll
three
see.
out of 4,
I really don't know actually.
With 3 out of 4 for Carey Mulligan, so the official BLB pick is Carey Mulligan.
Yeah, and that's a fine pick. She's good.
Yeah.
So.
Next up, we're going into the writers' room, ladies and gentlemen, because we have original screenplay. Timo, why don't you hit us with your prediction here?
Original screenplay. Well, here's the thing. I didn't actually make a prediction for this one.
Oh.
Because I'm really confused. I feel like the Academy wants to pick Trial as a screenplay, and yet I don't want the Academy to pick Trial. I think that that Judas or Sound of Metal are the front runners. I think I'm gonna just go with it. I'm gonna say Judas and the Black Messiah is the best original screenplay. But I don't think that's gonna win.
Abram?
Okay.
So I went with Sound of Metal. I think Sound of Metal is an incredible film, helped in large part by its script. And because the film, unfortunately, being the only one deserving of Best Picture, isn't going to win it, I don't think. I think this is a great consolation award because the strength of the story, how inventive it is, I think is due in large part to that script, and it deserves the award.
Yeah. My personal pick is Judas and the Black Messiah, but I gotta give a look in and to momentum. And my official pick is Promising Young Woman for original screenplay. Previous awards shows, if you look at them, it's Promising Young Woman. Tucker?
Yeah, I'm on that same page. I think Promising Young Woman. Well, Promising Young Woman, my favorite film out of all of these. But I think that the screenplay is really what keeps that film fresh and interesting and engaging. While there's conflicting elements to it, I think the screenplay that was provided is so strong and strong enough to win. So yeah, that's my pick as well.
Well, based on the 2 votes, our official BLB pick, and the correct one, obviously, because these are the most accurate predictions, is Promising Young Woman.
But that's a sort of split vote. That's our first big split vote.
Yeah,
good, finally.
Now we're going to adapted screenplay. Tucker, what do you have here?
For me, I have The Father, and I think that that's because not only I think the screenplay is fantastic for that, one of the best aspects of the film, but because I don't really see it winning too much else. And I think it's very deserved for that. A lot of the other ones are a little bit strange. I think we might bring it up. Nomadland, the screenplay isn't exactly the strong point of that film, even though it's a solid screenplay. And One Night in Miami, The White Tiger, and Borat are not exactly in the running, even though I think White Tiger, by the way, which I'm the only one who ended up finishing that film. Fantastic movie, by the way. I think the screenplay in that is fantastic, but it doesn't have the American push, to be honest.
Timo?
I'm gonna go with Nomadland. You're gonna notice a pattern. I think Nomadland's taken home a ton of awards, or whenever the Oscars are, and so I think it's gonna take home for adapted screenplay, coming from a book, coming from these real life characters, having them in there. I think there's some really interesting stuff with this, as you know, as we talk about the melding of fiction and nonfiction, that starts in the screenplay. And so I think it's going to take home this award.
Abram?
You're high in your own supply if you think Nomadland doesn't have this award locked down.
Wow,
it's obvious.
wow.
I'm not going to really say much more because I think Timo does a really nice job summarizing it, but it's going to Nomadland.
Okay. Well, I also picked The Father, so this is quite an interesting split here.
This will be fun.
But I don't know.
I think The Father is a great script. I just think that it is so similar to its play in terms of actually what is said, and that in terms of inventiveness, Nomadland beats it out a little bit.
Well, there's a lot of work that goes into that conversion from the text to Nomadland as a film that shows a lot of, I think, outside the box, innovative, creative thinking that's deserving of an award like this.
Well, even though it is, it goes against my better interest, and it in service of keeping this short and not a debate about screenplays, I'm gonna say the official pick is Nomadland.
Okay, Father's pretty great too.
Why do we need an official BLB pick? Is my question.
Well, I don't know, because these are the most accurate Oscar picks.
BLB certified.
BLB certified. Yeah.
Stamp.
Next up. Director, the person who makes it all happen. Tucker, who do you think it is?
I mean, we're going around. This is me, Chloe Zhao. I think
I
don't think any of us disagree with it, but I think she's a new surprise up and coming director. Of course, she did amazing with this. It's become mainstream. She's working on Eternals. Actually, might be done. I have no idea, but I think her momentum will carry forward really well, and her winning this, I think, is just an Oscars push to, hey, we've got a new great filmmaker that's up and coming.
Yeah. Did anyone not pick Chloe Zhao? Okay.
Official BLB pick. There we go.
Certified.
We praised her directing in our episode, so we're gonna go with Miss Chloe Zhao. Next up, another runaway category is Best Animated Feature. Did anyone not pick Soul? I mean, come on now. Let's be real with ourselves here. What's gonna win? Onward, Shaun the Sheep.
I've
Jesus Christ.
seen that Wolfwalkers could maybe in an alternate universe
No.
win.
Tucker and I were just looking at animated feature wins at the Oscars.
And nominations.
Half of this award's only been around for what, 19 years?
18.
18 years, and Pixar has won half of them. So
yeah, you'd be a fool not to pick Soul this year.
yes.
And
Soul is also an S tier Pixar film in general.
I mean, yes, it is.
So-
It is the best one in my opinion.
That's your best Pixar film, actually?
Actually, yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Documentary. Tucker, I'm gonna defer to you on this because we've probably seen the most of all of these. So Tucker, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I've ended up actually seeing 4 of them. We watched 4 over the past last 2 weeks out of 5, and I think maybe we'll watch collective before the Oscars. I'm not sure,
Maybe.
but I'm honestly thinking that this is gonna go to Time. I think that it's such an interesting format for a film to be filmed over the course of a family's entire life. It tells an important political message. I think, maybe we didn't find it super interesting, but I think that the Academy is really gonna push this one forward.
I'm also going with Time for basically the same reasons Tucker said. Abram?
I'm also going with Time because I don't know what any of these movies are.
Fair.
I haven't
okay.
seen any of them, so I'm gonna have a null vote and let that defer to the people who
Okay.
have seen them.
BLB pick is Time.
Time.
All right. Best international feature. Okay. Timo, give me your thoughts.
So I've actually only seen 2, Another Round and Better Days, and Another Round was much better than Better Days. Better Days lost me, and it was shot like a student film for about half of it, which is weird. I got kind of distracted by the cinematography and whatnot. It was a little weird. So I'm gonna have to go with Another Round just because I really like that film. It was really fun, and I thought it had a very nice message. But I haven't seen the other one, so if there's a better one that I haven't seen, I would be not aware of that.
Well, the thing is that there really isn't, from what I've seen. Another Round is going away with this award. Thomas Vinterberg was a surprise nominee for director, and I think that's because Mads Mikkelsen is in this. You got star recognition for the American Academy voters, and it's just great all around. Another Round, it makes you question, what it means to be drunk all the time. No, it does have some greater thematic value to that.
Who's the real Another Round?
Who's the real Another Round? Abram,
As a certified film bro, I haven't seen any of these movies, but I will say that I think conceptually Another Round sounds very interesting, and I would like to see that, unlike any of these other ones, which I haven't even heard of. So I'm going to go with Another Round.
Tucker?
So for me, I'm also going Another Round. I think
He's going Another Round.
Yeah.
Let's go, boys. But I think that the push of it is also the fact that it was nominated for Best Director, which very rarely happens for foreign films. Of course, we had Alfonso Cuarón. I think we had Bong Joon-ho. So it's becoming more common, but none of the other ones got any other kind of push. And while my personal pick, and might talk about this at some other point, but is The Man Who Sold His Skin. I think conceptually that's a lot more interesting. Another Round is a great movie. And it also has a director push, so I think the Academy will vote for that because Thomas Vinterberg doesn't have a chance against Chloe Zhao.
True.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, boys, we ourselves are going Another Round, and we're going into some filmmaking fundamentals, as we like to call them on the quest for the bestest. Starting off with the prettiest part of film, the cinematography. I have picked Nomadland. I think we praised the cinematography a lot in our review for Quest for the Bestest. It uses the sunrise and sunset very effectively. The wide, empty landscapes are used very well in the cinematography. I think it's just an impeccably beautiful film. Does anyone have any dissent? Because I think this is a pretty far and away good pick.
I don't have any dissent. I agree, but I think Mank's gonna win.
Oh, you think Mank's
Okay.
I
gonna
think the Academy is
interesting.
going to pick Mank, but I am, for the record, picking Nomadland.
Sure. Okay.
So
It's
you're
just
predicting Mank,
it's just
though.
a side note. It's just a side
It's-
note.
yeah,
I'm picking
just predict-
Nomadland because if Mank wins, I'm gonna do something bad.
But okay. But your prediction for what the Academy will pick is Mank. Timo famously a Mank hater.
Yeah, I don't like
As I'm sure we'll get to, because it's nominated for a lot of these technical awards.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm also going with Nomadland. I think that for me, even though that movie didn't hit a lot for me personally, I think that the visuals of it are absolutely fantastic. Probably my favorite aspect of it, and
Mhm.
it's just so unique compared to the other ones. Of course, none of us saw the News of the World, which probably has similar, environmental
Yeah.
vistas and stuff. But yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think, to be fair, I think nature cinematography is kind of easy because nature is
Yeah.
gorgeous. I think the strength of Nomadland cinematography are the more documentarian shots and how intimate a lot of the film feels. And I think that is captured a lot through the camera and through framing of shots. So beyond just the beautiful vistas, I think Nomadland cinematography is really great in
Mhm.
ways that other films aren't.
Sure. Okay. Next up, we have maybe the most stacked category this entire Oscar season. That is best editing. Now, if you take a
Yeah.
look at these nominees, fellas, we got The Father, Nomadland, Promising Young Woman, Sound of Metal, and Trial of the Chicago 7. All of which are very,
They're
very
all
well
Best
edited.
Picture
Or
nominees.
they're all Best Picture nominees, all very well edited, maybe impeccably edited if you're on my side of the fence. But boys, who is going to win this one? Tucker, what do you think?
I think this is the category that Trial goes home with. I think the
Really?
editing in
Okay.
that film
Okay.
is works really well for the story it's telling. As I said in our review on Quest for Bestest, maybe card in the corner if someone remembers, but is that it melds the cross examinations with other people finishing other people's sentences and flashbacks and all sorts of stuff that works really well together. And I just think the editing is actually probably the strongest suit of that film, and I think it deserves a win. And I think that's probably one of the only things that's going to come away with.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if they don't give Aaron Sorkin his screenplay award, which would be kind of a travesty, but again, it's not his best screenplay, so I can accept it. My pick is also Trial of the Chicago 7 because if you look at the Academy and their bad editing picks over the years,
God.
like namely Bohemian Rhapsody, they like big bombastic, in your face editing. And
Yeah.
I don't think it's something that a lot of these other films have. Maybe Promising Young Woman is on that same level, but the way that Sorkin's dialogue and the editing work together so well, I think it's going to trick some of those stupid Academy voters, and they're going to give it to give it to Trial of Chicago 7. Abram.
I went Sound of Metal. We'll
Mm.
come back around to editing, specifically sound editing, when we get to sound itself. But I think the film is edited very well. I always think of that introductory sequence when we're playing the drums and everything's going nuts. I think the editing is really great. I think whenever I can give Sound of Metal my official vote, I will. And I think this is an easy one to give it to.
Timo?
I didn't write down a one because I'm very confused on this category. Because I actually can't decide. I think Trial is going to win. I almost want The Father though to win because
I also want The Father to win.
I
So
think
do
The
I.
Father does a lot with its editing when you're switching out characters and all that stuff that like highlights, you're switching between scenes and throwing the order off in the film. I think it does a lot of really interesting stuff in the editing room. And it's not that big bombastic editing that we talked about, that Trial has. So I'm gonna go with The Father, but Trial's probably gonna win.
The Father is also my personal pick.
Yeah.
So Trial's gonna win. We've locked it in, ladies and gentlemen. Sorkin, even though you're not the editor of that film, you did it. Congratulations.
A round of applause for Aaron.
Yeah. These next two, I feel we can combine a little bit because in my mind, they're the same. They're the same movie that is going to win these two, and that is costume design and makeup and hairstyling. And I think that it's Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. I think if you look at the way the characters are presented in that film, it's very unique makeup and hairstyling, very unique, heightened sort of era and setting for the costumes and the makeup and the hair. And I think that it's the most special of all of them for sure. So those are my pick for both of those categories. Tucker, what do you got?
Okay, well, I'm not melding them because I have different predictions.
Oh,
And
okay.
I didn't predict Ma Rainey's for either.
Oh,
I
wow.
have costume design down for Emma because while I didn't like that movie very much, the costume design is absolutely insane in that film, and I think it definitely deserves a win. Of course, Victorian era flowery dresses and stuff, but it is incredible.
Well, we can keep going for costume design. Timo, what do you got?
I have Mank. They're not going to give Mank the very big awards, but they're going to give Mank all these costume design hair and makeup. So I'm melded on these two categories. Mank wins
Okay,
both of them
okay.
in my mind.
Abram?
Well, we're all over the map, so I guess to
Yeah.
talk quickly to makeup and hair, that's going to Mank. But
Okay.
costume design, I gave to Mulan.
Wow. Okay.
I think Mulan is going to take a little bit of something, a little bit of that Disney influence, Disney money, and I think that the costumes are pretty great in that film, even though it's a soulless husk of a really great animated movie. It's interesting, I think, visually, and I think that it deserves at least a little recognition for that.
Okay. So hang
And
on.
for me, well, I didn't finish.
Are we not united in any of these categories? Our picks? for
You
this?
decided to present it very
I
weirdly,
don't
so I have
know.
no fucking clue.
I
have
I
no-
think
Sorry,
I don't think
I'm
we
so
have one
sorry.
clear winner in either costume design or makeup and hairstyling.
Well, I didn't say this yet. I'm going for Mank for makeup and hairstyling.
Mm.
I think they're gonna go with painting Gary Oldman and old people makeup again. So
Well, yeah.
So that's definitive for hair and makeup. Three of us went Mank.
3,
and
yeah.
True.
For costume, BLB's official vote is Mulan. What's next category?
Oh boy. All right. We're going.
oh wait, none of us voted the same on costume.
Yeah.
No, we did not.
Awesome. I like that.
Okay. Well, maybe this season isn't as cut and dry as we'd like to think it is.
Maybe you're just overconfident.
I will
Maybe
I
not.
will note that there are is Pinocchio a period piece? Because that would mean that you got 4 out of 5.
Yeah, it is. I'm
So it
pretty
means
sure.
5 out of 5 nominees are period pieces, which makes
Yes.
it really hard to tell because if there's any other year, you get 2 period pieces and you pick the better film, and that's going to win costume design. But this year,
Interesting.
they've decided to totally throw off our metrics. So I don't know.
Well, if we're going by Timo's rule, I think that Ma Rainey's Black Bottom is the best period piece. It's the best movie out of those 5 nominees. So,
Yeah, it is.
boys, what's our official BLB pick?
We
For
can
what,
pick
our
Ma
costume?
Rainey's, I guess.
Ma Rainey's Black Bottom it is. Thank you, Timo.
Sure. Because
Yeah.
that film does have that's my second pick. It does have great costuming. So
Okay. Well, speaking of Mank and Timo's hatred of it, we're not quite there to that category yet, Timo. But we are going to go with what I think is going to win production design, and that's Mank. I think the Academy loves, like Timo said, the period pieces, and the world that it builds out. You got those Hollywood sets, and you got the interiors. You got their weird ranch in the desert. I think that it's getting production design.
Abram?
Even though it's not my personal pick, I think the Academy will be stupid and not pick the father. So my official pick is Mank. But Abram, you're shaking your head furiously at me. What's going on here?
The winner here is Tenet.
Oh, okay, interesting.
I think Tenet is such an inventive film, and I think it deserves 2 categories here. We'll get to the other. I think it's only nominated twice, so I might have just given it
Yeah,
away.
I think so. Yeah.
But production design, I'm going with Tenet. Very strong production design. Even if the movie doesn't really make sense.
Okay, Timo.
I think both of you are off your rockers. It's The Father by a mile because only
Wow,
one film
okay,
uses
okay.
the production design, the set decoration for storytelling purposes, and that's The Father. The Father
I
has
agree.
you have these changing bits, you have this stuff. I think it's really artistic, and I think combined with your casting and your editing, those are the things that make The Father work. It's the production design in my mind. The changing sets, the way it like evolves into the nursing room, the flat, and you never know who's flat. And I think those elements makes it just like not only like, it's whatever, it's an interior set, the whole movie, but just this changing stuff is very inventive, is very new, and I think that the Academy will take notice this year.
Okay. Tucker?
I think they're stuck on Mank because I think
Yeah,
even
me
though it was
too.
nominated for 10 things, we've not been talking about it much. Also,
No.
not a very good movie, but I think the production design is one of its strongest suits. It does have great production design, and I think they're going to lean a little bit heavily into, hey, it's the history of movies.
Yeah.
So
The Academy loves when you make a movie about Hollywood.
Yeah.
And Timo, I think you are totally on base with saying that The Father has
So
the
do I.
most artistic production design. It's my personal pick for what if I was handing out awards, I'd give it to whoever did the production design for that movie.
Peter
Anthony
Francis
Hopkins,
and
maybe.
Kathy Featherstone.
Anthony Hopkins, maybe. I don't know. But But no, I think, like I said multiple times, we're doing Academy slander. They're dummies. They like pretty movie that makes them remember where they work, and they're going to go with Mank.
Abram, look,
Okay.
you had something else to say?
Well, I was just going to say that we're not talking about Mank because it's not a very good movie, but we're talking about The Father a lot. So clearly something doesn't line up.
Yes, exactly. It's almost as if the Academy is a little far removed from what actually is good. And
I
obviously,
agree.
we know it doesn't matter what the Academy thinks. These are the most accurate predictions.
That's true. Yeah.
The most. All right, what's
even
next?
if even if we're wrong, we are right because these are the most
Oh, yeah.
accurate. Yeah. Okay. Up next, it's Timo time, ladies and gentlemen. Timo, our resident sound engineer, sound guy, sound man, sound gentleman, sound lord. Timo, what's going to win best sound?
This one
Because
is
they combined the categories, and I know you're angry about it.
I'm so
Rant time?
sad. No rant. They made the wrong decision with combining the categories in terms of artistic achievement because there's two different realms in the people, whatever. More people will go unrecognized for good work. That's basically what's going to happen. Is my qualms with it. But there's one winner, and it's so far ahead of every other film.
Mm-hmm.
It's Sound of Metal. It's got sound in the name, so the
Yep.
Academy voters are going to go, whoa, sound, and they're going to vote for it. And they're not even going to listen
There
to it.
was sound in that movie.
And then when they
yeah.
do listen to the movie, they're going to realize that Sound of Metal has some of the best sound design I've heard in years. It's just truly great.
On top of that, metal things usually make a lot of sound. So
not
The
only
Academy-
is there good creative design sound in Sound of Metal, there's a lot of it.
Yeah. The
I love
Academy
metal.
is like toddlers. They're like, metal makes sound in title, sound of metal.
Exactly. I think
did
Mank is a close second, but I think that they will not they'll go with Sound of Metal because it's the right choice. And because
Sure.
Mank sounds like you recorded it in
which
a
is why they're
basement.
not going to choose it.
Boys, did anyone not pick Sound of Metal? And if you did not pick Sound of Metal, you're out. You're kicked out immediately of Backlog Banter.
No more BLB for you.
No more BLB for you. But we're gonna keep on Timo's wheelhouse here, and we're gonna go with best original score.
Okay, so best original score is a little bit interesting for me. I haven't seen a lot of these, but I'm picking Soul. I think Soul's gonna win.
Yeah.
Although I think The Five Bloods has a good chance
Mm.
there too. It's the only nomination it got this year, which is a total shame. But Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross are kind of on fire this time around. And I think Soul's got a little better soundtrack than Mank does.
I'm also going to go Soul. I think that Trent Reznor, obviously, he does a lot of Fincher movies, as like he did Mank, and so I got to go with his score for Soul because it's better, and Mank is kind of a bad of movie, but I think it's a close second for score. Abram,
I gave it a Soul.
Yeah.
Nothing more to add.
Tucker.
I don't know exactly why, but for some reason I'm feeling Minari.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, any
That's-
particular?
It's just a
You
gut
got your-
feeling.
No
yeah, it's just
particular
a gut
reason.
feeling. Yeah.
Okay.
Did Minari
Well-
have music? I'm not asking this facetiously.
Yes.
That was my big thing thinking about this. I don't really remember Minari's score.
I don't
Yeah.
either.
I don't remember Soul's score, but I know it had good music in it because it's a movie about music.
Mhm.
But for some reason, I don't know. This is my one wild and off pick.
Okay. Tucker's wilding out with
Oh,
with
yeah.
that pick.
You see this wild look in my eyes?
Yeah, look at him. Look at that. Look at him wearing that top hat. He's wilding out, ladies and
He is
gentlemen.
wild.
Look out! All right,
Didn't
and
bring them on.
we have the final sound-oriented award because I decided to give them all to Timo here, and that is best original song.
So
Maybe a category that should not be in the Oscars, by the way.
no, but this is very interesting. I did a little research. Fight for
Mm.
You from Judas and the Black Messiah by her and Durst Emily II is going to win. But Husavik is actually a really good song and is the only one of the 5 original songs nominated that doesn't come in the credits. Husavik comes in the middle of the film and it's like actually like a plot point, whereas everything else is tacked on to the end so that they could get nominated for another Academy Award. But it's still going to go to Judas because Academy is not going to make the right choice. Also because Eurovision Song Contest is a Netflix movie starring like Will Ferrell and
It's a
is
comedy,
and is
yeah.
otherwise kind of weird. So Fight for You. Although Husavik's
Okay.
pretty good. If we might have a crazy upset where Husavik
Yeah.
wins.
Well, you are crazy, my man, because if you don't think the Academy is going to give it to Speak Now from One Night in Miami, rather, because gosh darn it, give Leslie Odom Jr. his EGOT already, okay? Just do it. He's he's crazy talented. He made this song for this movie. He's good in the movie too. He's nominated for Best Supporting. just give him his EGOT and give him Best Original Song for Speak Now.
Abram?
I said Fight for You, but I like Judas and the Black Messiah. I don't remember this song at all. I'm gonna be honest with you.
It was over the credits.
Yeah, it's a credit
No.
song.
I might have not even listened to it then, to be honest.
Yeah, that's it. A lot of people were like, "Oh, I turned the movie off before I left the theater before the song started." So
Yeah, I went with
Okay.
Speak Now as well. I think God, you are Tanner.
Yeah,
Tanner's
I am.
rhetoric earlier. You were telling me about this whole story behind. This is
But-
only one I don't have a personal pick for. By the way, I've got personal picks for everything else. But
because Tucker hates music, as we all
that's
know.
true. That's true. But I think your story makes sense. But also, Timo making good points. But I'm going with Speak Now. So
Yeah,
split vote on this.
I think they want to give Leslie Odom Jr. that EGOT. Okay, BLB official pick. I'm calling it. It's Speak Now. All
I'll
right.
allow it.
Okay.
Okay. It's also original song. It
Yeah.
only matters in getting it right when you're competing against your friends to see who gets the most predictions correct.
Exactly. In a way, that is what we're doing here.
Yeah.
Okay. And speaking of things that put me and Tucker on top against you fellas, we're gonna talk about Tucker and Timo. Nope, that's not our names.
Jesus Christ.
Tanner and Tucker talk about shorts for a brief amount of time. And Tucker, we're gonna start off with animated. This is just a you and me thing. Tucker,
I
we're gonna
haven't
start
seen any
off
of them.
with animated short. Tucker, what do you think is gonna win?
Because this is our only chance to talk about these, the fact that we watched them,
Mhm.
it's gonna be If Anything Happens, I Love You, because it's sad.
Yep.
But I think in my perfect world, I would want opera to win because it's so unique in the way it
yes.
uses visual
soc-
storytelling.
The society one.
Yes,
w-
but I
I
don't
wish
think
you
that's a
guys
bad
knew.
thing.
I wish you guys knew what we were talking. I'm looking to look up to you here. I wish you guys knew what we were talking about here.
It's
But
a great short.
opera is basically just like this pyramid thing, and it pans down, and it's like, hey, this is like society. Do you get it?
It's more complicated than that.
Oh yeah, society's all pretty complicated, Tucker. But yes, yes. If Anything Happens, I Love You is going to win.
Yeah.
Live action, I have Two Distant Strangers, because I think that the Oscars love a social problem short, and I think Netflix is gonna sweep this shorts category. They have one in each, and I think they're gonna win all of them. So yeah, I'm gonna go Two Distant Strangers.
I have to go with Feeling Through. I think that one was really strong performances for a short film. I think that it's interesting conceptually. It's heartfelt. It's a good story for a short film, and I think it's strong enough to win.
Feeling Through is my personal pick. We're also both giving the big old middle finger to mustachioed Oscar Isaac in this category. But yeah, Feeling Through.
Pervert.
I wish it did win, because that is, it's the first time a deaf-blind actor has ever been like a main character in a film of any kind, apparently. So very interesting. And Tucker, finally, documentary short. I think A Love Song for Latasha is going to win. Another Netflix movie, another social problem short. So what are you thinking?
I think it's got to be A Concerto as a Conversation.
Wow.
Not only because in my mind I see it, I see the people walking up on stage who did that one, but also because I mean it's got a history to it. It's got a political message through the racial history, and it's got art. It's got a little bit of a reference to the Oscars.
It's made by the New York Times.
That's the only one that I've actually seen. I saw A Concerto
okay.
as a Conversation, and yeah, I think that one's really good. It's beautiful.
Okay.
It's beautifully shot too.
Okay. Well,
Abram, any comments on any of this?
Yeah.
I would like to give my vote to The Story of the Faithful Wookiee, which is an old Star Wars short that was re-released on Disney Plus.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
I don't think that was nominated.
I think that this year it's going to go to What Did Jack Do? the David Lynch talking to a monkey police interview thing where he superimposed his mouth onto that face of a monkey.
Like the annoying orange. That's like not even a joke.
The annoying orange the monkey, and made a short film about it. But boys, all of our fun has come to an end, because it's time to predict this year's Best Picture. We kind of did it already.
It's not.
What? Did we miss something?
We missed visual effects.
Visual effects.
Visual effects. That's it.
I'm so sorry. I had a La La Land moment there where I just completely left out a category. And I did because it's such a runaway.
La La Land.
I did it because it's such a runaway win for Christopher Nolan's Tenet.
Yes.
Did you know they used a real 747?
I did know that.
Yeah.
Plane. But
Is it
also,
Tenet?
I mean, it uses visual effects creatively. I mean,
It's
that's
true.
clearly the strongest
it's-
aspect of that film.
Yes, it is the entire marketing and conceit of that film is that things go backwards, and gosh darn it, don't they look great going backwards?
And things go forward at the same time.
True.
Other things are going backwards. That's pretty crazy.
That's pretty crazy. Christopher Nolan's like, no, we're not just gonna reverse it. We're gonna do both at the same time.
And
That is
maybe we'll go
fucking
sideways.
cool.
We'll go sideways too.
No, that's the sequel. Tenet 2. Tune it.
Dude,
No.
it's Tenet, but
but-
got twos for T's.
I mean, Tenet's good, but I think it's gonna be the one and only Ivan. I'm just kidding. Obviously, it's gonna be Tenet. Okay,
I was about a monkey, so
it was, and I sort of wasted my big emotional lead up to the Best
Yeah.
Picture.
you did.
But it's Best Picture time, everyone. Hey, everyone! It's Best Picture time. We're gonna talk about what's gonna win Best Picture and why it's Nomadland.
Anyone didn't vote for Nomadland?
I didn't.
Abram didn't vote for Nomadland. Abram,
I like this.
my good sir, what are your thoughts? What's going on here?
So I want to say personally, my vote is Sound of Metal, far and away,
Oh.
but it's not going to
Yeah.
win.
My personal vote as well.
I want to talk to you for a moment
there
about
you
the
go.
Video Game Awards from last year.
Okay, talk
The
to me
re-
about the VGAs.
The reason I want to talk about the VGAs is a little game called Animal Crossing New Horizons got nominated. It didn't win, but I think it got nominated a lot on the
It
back
should win
of
Best Picture.
what of the context in which it released. The context in which it released was during a year of a pandemic where Animal Crossing was vital. On top of being a good game, it was vital in giving people this outlet to connect. It was part of a cultural moment which propped it up, I think. For a similar and analogous reason, if you will, I think that Judas and the Black Messiah is going to win. Best
Wow.
Picture.
Wow.
I think considering the social, racial, political climate of the past year and the way that I think Judas interfaces so nicely with so many different plot threads in our real world, it has a lot of leverage that the other films don't have. I think at the same time, it's just a really excellently assembled film. And you look at how many, actor nominees it got. It's such an impassioned movie. I think between its own strengths and the strengths of the context it's released into, it's going to win Best Picture.
Wow. Well, I don't have any pushback against that because all the things you said are correct except for the fact that it's going to win Best Picture. Because if you look at any other awards, any other award show, it's Nomadland. Let's not kid around, okay?
Well,
We're going to be
here's the other
saying
thing.
multiple Academy Award winner Chloe Zhao.
There are only two acceptable choices for Best Picture, and Sound of Metal is not going to win, and Judas is the other acceptable choice. So my hands were
okay.
tied anyway.
All right.
But I genuinely do
See,
think
we're being realistic here, but Abram is so stubborn and set in his ways that he's like, I don't care about facts or trends. We're going about what my thoughts.
Judas is
That's
Okay.
aggressive.
I feel it. I feel it in my bones. Maybe it's because I haven't had enough milk recently. My bones are feeling weak.
You got sore
But I'm
bones.
feeling
You were
my
just at the
bones.
gym.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
I do think
Yeah.
you make a good point, Abram, about Judas being very culturally important and it being a very momentous, not a moment, but like of the moment film.
Yes.
And that could definitely push it over the top to win. I also think though, Nomadland still has some of those elements. They're a little harder to pull out. They're less obvious. And so I think that there's just so much momentum behind Nomadland that it will win, even though there are 3 very deserving films in the Best Pictures. There could be, I think Sound of Metal, Judas, Black Messiah, and Nomadland could win. And I would personally be happy with that.
Yeah.
I mean, we talk a lot about the politicking behind the Oscars, right? And we have Nomadland with a lot of momentum, and we have Judas that's really in the moment itself. So I think that's really the discussion here, because I don't think either of them are objectively point for point, as we've talked about and come to consensus on. Either of them are the best film. So I think when you contextualize everything around it, sure, Nomadland has a lot of momentum from Golden Globes, from all these places, but I don't necessarily think that wins out when Hollywood and entertainment and the United States has been working towards these issues and putting these different topics in the forefront. I think because of that, because the Oscars are a sham and not about quality.
Yeah.
And
Well, yeah.
we want to talk about importance. We want to talk about scale. We want to talk about all these things. I think Judas takes it.
Now,
Well, I think
here's
I
the
think for the
fun thing.
I think for the very reason that you just said, it's going to be Nomadland. It's not about quality. It's about
Sure.
it's about trends, in my opinion. But Tucker, I'm sorry I interrupted you.
I would say that's okay, but it's not.
I'm sorry.
But here's the thing. Abram shot himself in the foot with his little
Uh-oh.
analogy there because Animal Crossing New Horizons didn't win Game of the Year. And I know an analogy, whatever, but I think that it's honestly, you are making a very reasonable prediction for that. And I think all the things you say behind that are true and reasons why Judas could win Best Picture. But I do think that Nomadland, with its momentum and with the critic popularity behind it, and in not being divisive, it's one of the few movies that don't really have. I mean, all of them are at least good, maybe Mank notwithstanding. But Nomadland, I think, is the most critically acclaimed, and I think that it's gotten most of the push, and that's, I think, what matters most to the Oscars.
Yes, I agree, Tucker. Thank you. But
Although Sound of Metal did win the Independent Spirit Awards, so
well, they don't care about those.
Has it ever been an indicator for Best Picture?
I don't
I
think so.
don't think so, because the Academy is too highfalutin for these stupid little indie films.
I'm
You
just
stay in
just throwing a
you stay
wrench
in your
into our
corner.
argument. That's all. I do
Yeah,
think Nomadland will take it.
Well, there's no more arguing from us, from the Academy, from anyone really, from anyone in the movie industry, because these were and will continue to be on Sunday the most accurate Academy Award-winning nominees predictions. I've said those words too many times in this video, but regardless, thank you for watching, everyone. If you managed to make it through all this, let us know your predictions in the comments. How wrong are we? If you think we're wrong, which we're not because these are the most accurate, but if you think we're wrong, leave it in the comments and subscribe to us, because it always helps to subscribe to someone who has a dissenting opinion from you. And maybe yell at us in the Discord. That link's in the description. But regardless, thank you for watching, everyone, and we'll see you after the ceremony. Wink.
Why are we winking?